This is Mr. Mike Stelzner. He's going to give you everything you need to know about how to create a successful business around the content that you're creating for people so you can reach more people, change their lives, and make money at the same time. It's coming up. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer. Welcome to Video Creators. Mr. Mike Stelzner is the founder of Social Media Examiner, social media marketing world, read by over 14 million people every single year, and a podcast that reaches millions of people. And you create a very successful business around this too. Tell us a little bit about what your brand is all about.
We help marketers figure out how to embrace social media, which is always changing, and use it to grow their businesses. And many of them are creators, and many of them are trying to go from just creating content to actually building a business utilizing some of the marketing techniques that we specialize in.
In order to do what Mike does, getting around 60 people working for him in his business, tell us how you got that started way back when. It's been on for a long time.
Back in the day, I was a writer. That's my creative itch, and I wrote a blog, and that blog started taking off. The key to the whole thing for me was to capture email addresses, because I knew that if I could get people on an email list, I could eventually sell them my products and services. Later, I started a podcast, social media marketing podcast, about 7 years ago. It was called Social Media Marketing. Then I started Social Media Marketing World. It was all strategic.
Yeah.
And today we have a live show, we have Alexa flash briefings, we have multiple podcasts, and we create content to draw the right audience to us so that about 15,000 of them a year will become our customers.
What are the things that you did to really grow this to be this big, successful media company?
What I'm gonna share are tips that anybody who's a creator can do, that they can actually figure out how to go from having an audience that is not buying products to actually selling products to people so they can make a lot of money and fund their dreams. Step one is I started surveying my customers, the people that were consuming my content. And I would ask them questions like, what is your single biggest struggle? If you could wave a magic wand and solve any one problem, what would it be? Or I would give them a list and I would say, how interested are you in solving this problem? Very much, slightly. And then what I would do with that data is I would give that data away in a report. Then what I would do with that information is I would say, okay, my audience has told me that they really want to learn about Instagram, okay? So maybe I'm gonna go ahead and reach out and partner with some Instagram people and come out with a course on Instagram. So it starts with getting knowledge from your most loyal fans, and those are the ones that are gonna participate in the survey in the first place. That's step one. Step two is to create a minimum viable product. What can we sell that won't be hard for us to produce, and if it fails miserably, it's not going to be the end of us. What I did in the early days is I started an online conference called Social Media Success Summit. I had brought successful people onto camera and I'd interviewed them at trade shows, and I got to know them and become friends with them. And then eventually I said, hey, would you be willing to teach for 45 minutes online? And the very first time we did it, we had about 450 people show up, and they were paying $300 a pop. And I was like, wow. And then eventually we kept doing and get better until thousands and thousands of people showed up.
So when you started sending out those surveys, you said you were sending them to your fans. So you were already creating content at that point on your own in order to have that initial...
In my case, I was capturing email addresses. So the key to everything is they have the ability to have some way of communicating with your audience so that they can take a survey.
So that could be even like a YouTube video, like, hey guys, take a survey, link down below, that type of thing. Or
you could put a special YouTube video together. It's only gonna be up for a week or 2 weeks, and say, hey, I'm doing a special survey, and as my free gift to everyone who takes the survey, I'm gonna give you free access to the results. And then once you take the survey, you can say, those people who said they were really interested in learning this, I already know their email address. So later on, you can contact those people and say, hey, I've got a product, are you willing to buy it?
The thing that it sounds like you were asking wasn't just though, it wasn't like, hey, do you like dogs or cats? It sounded like it was revolving around a problem that you wanted to solve for them. Like what struggle do they have? So whether it be like a mom who just feels overwhelmed at home, like, or if it be a social media marketer who's like, I don't know how this works, or it be someone who wants to learn how do I play the piano better. It doesn't really matter. People are gonna watch your content and then buy from you because you're helping them solve a problem and you are really trying to dial in what that problem was.
Yeah, and even if you can't do surveys, you could start at least from, as a creator, looking at your videos that seem to resonate the most with your audience and the people that seem to comment over and over again. You can just reply to them in comments and say, would you mind taking a survey, right? So you don't have their email addresses, but hey, I'm thinking about creating a product, and maybe as a result, everybody who fills out the survey is going to get free access to the first version of it. From a marketer, it sounds very basic, but from a creator's perspective, this is not obvious or intuitive at all. The third tip that I have is once you have information from people, you're gonna use their exact language. What's your biggest struggle? You're gonna look at the actual language that they're using And you're gonna use that very same language in your sales copy. Sales copy would be whatever the page is that's selling the product. You're gonna look for patterns. You're gonna look for like repeating phrases that people use when they answer your open-ended questions. I wish I could figure out how to monetize my channel. Monetize my channel over and over again. You have to use their language when you communicate it. So a marketer might say, here is a way to economically scale your revenue, where a creator would be, how do I make more money?
Exactly.
You know? Right. So you want to use those exact words because words are persuasive.
And it makes them feel like they understand what I want and what I need, and they get it, as opposed to using big language.
I have a bonus tip. And this one's the killer part. Document the creation of the product and actually showcase the struggles and the challenges of the creation of the product, which is what we've done with the journey, creating our event, Social Media Marketing World, and people will rally behind you and they'll help you and they'll want to be part of it. And it's crazy. Hey, I'm working on this product. What do you guys think? Here's my logo. Here's my sales page. Anybody got have any tips on it? You have them be part of the creation of it and they will rally behind you. The key to launching is to be really thoughtful about first of all, how are you going to communicate with your tribe? This is why I feel like it's so important to grow an email list, because it's the one way you can be sure it's not an algorithm, right? It's actually a way of communicating. The other thing that's really important is maybe put a little bit of money. Google allows you to advertise to your most active YouTube watchers. Maybe if you've done these behind the scenes videos of the creation of it, remarket to the people that have watched those videos and say, hey, the product is now available. Go buy it. And the other really critical part to a launch is to have a deadline. But what we do for our products is we have our price and it changes every couple of days and it goes up. Deadlines move people to make a purchase.
One of the things that Mike has done on his channel is document his entire journey and process of creating a product around his audience and the content that he creates. Click the channel you see on your screen or I'll link it down below. You can go over to youtube.com/socialmediaexaminer and dive into the journey right now, and Mike will see you over there.